alongside talking animals. In the heart of a lush forest, where the sun shone bright and the trees swayed gently in the breeze, a group of animals gathered around a babbling brook. Among them were a wise old owl named Professor Hootenanny, a mischievous raccoon named Rocky, a gentle deer named Daisy, and a clever squirrel named Squeaky. They were all good friends and loved to spend their days exploring the forest and having all sorts of adventures. One day, as they sat by the brook, Professor Hootenanny began to tell a story. "My dear friends," he said, "I have a tale to share with you. It's a story of a magical place, hidden deep within the forest, where the most extraordinary things happen." The animals leaned in, their eyes wide with excitement. "Tell us more, Professor," they chorused. Professor Hootenanny cleared his throat and began. "You see, in this magical place, the trees are covered in glittering jewels, and the flowers bloom in every color of the rainbow. The air is sweet with the scent of honey, and the sound of gentle music fills the air." Rocky's eyes grew wide. "Wow, that sounds like a dream come true." Quote, Daisy nodded. "I can almost smell the honey and hear the music." Squeaky's tail twitched with excitement. "I bet there are all sorts of hidden treasures to discover." Quote, Professor Hootenanny smiled. "Ah, yes. The magical place is full of wonders. But, my friends, it's not just a place to be seen, it's a place to be explored, to be discovered, and to be shared with others." The animals looked at each other, intrigued. "How do we get there?" asked Rocky. Professor Hootenanny's eyes twinkled. "Ah, that's the best part. To reach the magical place, you'll need to follow a path that only appears at dawn and dusk. It's a path that's hidden from view, but if you listen carefully, you'll hear the soft rustling of leaves and the gentle chirping of birds. That's your cue to follow the path." The animals looked at each other, and without a word, they knew they had to find this magical place. They decided to set off at dawn the next day, each one bringing a special gift to share with the others. As the sun rose over the forest, the animals gathered at the edge of the clearing, their eyes scanning the ground for the hidden path. Suddenly, Rocky spotted something, a faint trail of glittering leaves leading into the underbrush. "Quick, friends!" he cried. "The path is here." Quote, with a burst of excitement, the animals followed the path, their senses on high alert. They walked through a forest of towering trees, their branches adorned with glittering jewels that sparkled in the morning light. They crossed a bridge over a babbling brook, where fish swam in shimmering schools. As they walked, the animals noticed that the path was leading them to a clearing surrounded by a ring of mushrooms. In the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree, its trunk covered in glittering jewels that shone like 1,000 tiny stars. The animals gasped in awe. "Wow!" exclaimed Daisy. "This is it, the magical place." Quote, Squeaky's eyes grew wide. "Look, friends, the tree is covered in jewels." Quote, Rocky's tail twitched with excitement. "And look, there's a door hidden in the trunk." Quote, Professor Hootenanny nodded. "Ah, yes. The door leads to the heart of the magical place. But, my friends, before we enter, we must each share our special gift with the others." The animals looked at each other, and one by one, they presented their gifts. Rocky brought a basket of juicy berries, which they shared among themselves. Daisy brought a beautiful flower, which they used to create a fragrant wreath. Squeaky brought a shiny acorn, which they used to create a tiny musical instrument. As they shared their gifts, the animals noticed that the tree began to glow with a soft, golden light. The air filled with the sweet scent of honey, and the sound of gentle music filled their ears. Professor Hootenanny smiled. "Ah, yes. The magical place is awakening. And now, my friends, we must enter the door and discover its secrets." With a sense of wonder and excitement, the animals pushed open the door and stepped inside the tree. They found themselves in a cozy room filled with books, instruments, and all sorts of treasures. A warm fire crackled in the fireplace, casting a golden glow over the room. The animals looked around in awe, their eyes shining with wonder. "Wow!" exclaimed Rocky. "This is the most amazing place I've ever seen." Quote. Daisy nodded. "I know, right? It's like a dream come true." Quote. Squeaky's eyes grew wide. "Look, friends, there are books on every subject imaginable. I can learn about the stars, and the ocean, and the secrets of the forest." Quote. Professor Hootenanny smiled. "Ah, yes. The magical place is a treasure trove of knowledge and wonder. And now, my friends, I must leave you to explore and discover its secrets for yourselves." With that, the animals settled in for a day of exploration and discovery. They spent their time reading books, playing instruments, and sharing stories. They discovered hidden treasures and made new friends. And as the sun began to set, they reluctantly left the magical place, their hearts filled with joy and wonder. As they made their way back through the forest, they noticed that the path was no longer hidden. It was now visible to all, a shimmering trail of glittering leaves that led back to the edge of the clearing. The animals looked at each other, and without a word, they knew that they would always cherish the memory of their magical adventure. They had discovered a place where wonder and magic were real, and where friendship and sharing were the greatest treasures of all. And so, the animals returned to their homes, their hearts filled with the magic of the day. They knew that they would always have the magical place to return to, and that they would always have each other to share in the wonders of the world. The end. I hope you enjoyed Alongside Talking Animals. This story is a heartwarming tale of friendship, adventure, and the magic of discovery. It's a reminder that even in the most ordinary of places, there is always the potential for something extraordinary to happen. And it's a celebration of the power of friendship and sharing, which can bring joy and wonder into our lives. As you read this story, I hope you'll imagine yourself alongside the animals, exploring the magical place and discovering its secrets. And I hope you'll remember that the magic of the story is not just in the fantastical place itself, but in the connections and relationships that we build with others. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and I hope you'll come back to Earthly Reads again soon. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.